Greetings and salutations, this is Emperor Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
We're having a look at the T26 Light Tank used by the Soviet Army in the earlier parts of the Second World War. We have 6 of these. Because we're never really going to use that many tanks in the game at the same time, I did paint 3 up in winter colours and 3 up in summer colours. So that's why I have 2 separate colours of tanks here.
Yep.
I didn't really see a position where we would need all 6 T26s on the board at the same time.
Unless we're doing an all-out battle.
Yeah, but then it would be something like the Winter War, wouldn't it? So, I don't know. I might have to redress that, but I haven't really decided. Anyhow, this is the T26. We have 6 vehicles in our army. We have, I think, 3 in our Chinese army, or maybe 4. And we've got a few spare, which we're going to paint up as Finns when we get around to it. So, yeah, we do have quite a few of these tanks. Because they were pretty numerous, there were a lot of them around. They were supplied to China, used by people who captured them, and even the Germans used some. So, you know, they're pretty generic. In Bolt action, they're a light tank. They're actually a little bit more rickety than the average light tank. I mean, they really are rubbish. So they only have an armour of 7+, making them basically an armoured car. So there's no real difference between these and the armoured cars, because they carry the same gun, they have the same armour, it's just these are slightly slower. A downside to this tank is it is only equipped as standard with 1 machine gun, which is kind of unfortunate. It's a hull-mounted machine gun, so you can still fire it, but normally tanks have 2 machine guns, 1 in the turret, 1 in the hull. Most of these versions of tanks didn't have the 1 in the turret. They were actually built without the turret machine gun. I don't know why. I would assume...
Can't be bothered.
Yeah, I mean, the later...
actually no, it was too cramped.
Yeah, the BT7 had almost the same turret, and a slightly different design turret, but that had both guns in it, so I'm not really sure. Anyway, most of these didn't. I know there was a version of this that did, but that wasn't the common version that was used. So statistically, you were unlikely to come across that tank, which means basically all you get is a 1 MMG to fire from the hull, and then it's at the front here in the hull.
It's not the greatest tank, but
yeah. Then you get the turret-mounted main gun, which is useless against infantry. I mean, yes, like I think it's a D2HE, which is...
Yay!
Which, yeah, why bother, you know? But you're going to end up using it if you end up fighting loads of infantry, so it does kind of put you in a corner not having that extra machine gun as an option. But you can always add a machine gun points-wise. You can mount an anti-aircraft gun on the roof, so that would give you the extra machine gun you want. But if you're going to field 3 tanks, that's going to put your points up. So, you know, there's... And is it really worth upgrading a tank as cheap and rubbish as this? I mean, it's a really cheap tank, so...
How much it cost?
I think it works out about 100 points with all the stuff it's got, which is...
Cheaper than
most.
Yeah.
There's certain German machine gun units that are more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's really...
I expected to see like 125-ish.
Yeah. When you look at some of the normal infantry units, you pay more for, I don't know, a veteran flamethrower team will be more effective than this. And this is a tank, so, you know, there's a downside to it as well.
Yeah, flamethrower teams kind of knock out tanks.
Yeah.
If they're open tops.
How much is a BT? Have you got the thing for the BT then?
BT what?
The BT7, yeah.
The BT7 is 125.
Alright, so it's actually not, it's just probably that armour and machine gun that makes a difference there then.
Yeah. That's like, 2 MGs, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a turret mounted MG as well as
armour 8+.
Yeah, and it's got the armour of 8+, which, so that's where 25 comes.
And this tank I used against your Polish?
Yeah, that's the one you used in the last game we did, which, actually that tank was quait useful.
Yeah, it's destroyed 1 whole regiment.
Yeah, in the end. I
Yeah,
did pretty much ruin it.
Did you touch it? I didn't
Yeah.
realise.
Yeah, I did. So
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
So this is the standard Soviet tank, and if you're doing an early war Russian army, you're going to have lots of these. I like them. I think they're quite nice little tanks. I think they look nice.
Just only against one unit.
Yeah, I do think they look nice, and they were used en masse. They were usually used in conjunction with the heavier T28s.
Is that why they were good?
They were used. Yeah, well, they were used with the T28s and T35s were going first, and then these guys would come in afterwards with the infantry, and then your BT7s would come in, and they would exploit the gaps along with the armoured cars. So then your BT7s and your armoured cars would go through, and they'd drive into the enemy rear and cause havoc. Seldom actually happened. The Soviets had some pretty unfortunate battles early war.
Broken down by chance?
Not just that, I mean a lot of engine failures because they were driving vast distances to get to where they were fighting. But also they just worked very badly together. There was very little communication between units, and so when you broke through the enemy you used to get all disjointed and all confused and you didn't know what you were doing. So yeah, that's really down to the fact that Stalin shot all the officers. So you haven't got experienced officers to guide the troops. I dare say if Stalin hadn't have shot the officers, he would have just trounced Germany in 1941 and the war would have been over.
And then he'll have control of
And
Europe.
yeah, the whole of Europe, the European Union would have been created by Russia. And it would have been pretty bad if the communists would have taken over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really bad. Stalin topped up, 60 million in his time. They're not a bad score for
Let's say Hitler's bad.
Yeah, Hitler's nothing compared to Stalin. So if you think Nazi rule was bad, yeah, read a book about Stalin. So yeah, thank God Germany was there to take the hit, you know.
And Poland.
And Poland, yeah. The Poles caused quite a lot of casualties to the Russians, considering the Russians turned up late.
Yeah. Very late, actually.
Yeah, very late.
Wink, wink.
Like weeks late. So, and the Poles actually did quite a lot of, the Russians took quite a lot of casualties there.
Before it saved Europe.
Well, it checked the Russians, because the Russians thought they were allied to the Germans, so they weren't in a rush. So, they didn't know they were about to go to war with the Germans at that moment, so, And it always helps if you're the attacking one. When you're the defending one, that means you're reacting to the enemy. And it's very hard to react to an enemy if your officers don't have any experience.
Yep.
Because your officers don't know their second number, they don't know what they're doing. It's a mess, it's an absolute mess. But that was the glory that was Barbarossa. Let's all wave a flag. That's it, that's the end of the video. Any questions?
You said that, you only said questions about
Any questions? We've already, I got all discombobulated there, I do apologise. So it's over to your talky bit.
So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and comment down below what you think of these tanks and if you think that it's better using a mass or signalling.
Yeah.
That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Good day.
See ya.